room still keeps the summer calendar forgot to cross out a soft outline in light where your coat used to hang. The shallow dead in a cushion, learning again how to breathe. Dust turns slow in the amber, like galaxies practicing kindness. Kettle steam braids the air into a small hymn, and I stand with my hands around a cup, as if warmth were a language I could speak without stuttering. Somewhere in the hallway, floorboard tells an old joke to my feet and remember to laugh. Nothing is dramatic, and that is its own miracle. Quiet letter like a letter, a window crack just enough to invite a listening breeze. A porcelain rim holding the thin oval of morning. A city yawning down the block with soft-lit buses. You taught me that peace is not the absence of weather. Bravery of opening the door regardless. So I open. A bird measures the distance between roofs with a single line of silver sound. Someone waters plants on the balcony and across the way. The leaves applaud politely on the sill. Yesterday's cataloged with tender precision. Ticket stubs of paper, crane, a press, ginkgo leaf, the color of patience. I hold a leaf to the sun and it glows like a small cathedral. If I listen closely, I hear your breath in the pause between the clock's second and then the next. A velvet corridor where time walks barefoot, careful not to wake the day. Before the leaves fell, we carried the sky like a blanket, a bright impossible thing we kept unfolding. Even when rain rehearsed its soft arguments, the cloth of calm stayed warm over our shoulders. Before the leaves fell, we learned the slow art of staying to breathe slower than the news, to answer only the small yes. Keep that color, keep that calm, a lamp of early sun inside that chest. Lit and listening. Outside, sparrows stitch the neighborhood back together, threading telephone wires to branches with invisible thread. A bike bell draws a silver circle in the street. A child tests the morning with a blue chalk star. The city finds a swing, soft percussion of cups, sandals, doors. I follow our footprints to the threshold and back, a ritual of returning, a choreography of gentle refusal to hurry what is already here. Even the air seems relieved. If love is not spectacular, it is at least honest. These are its utensils, a key worn by a pocket, a note on the fridge that says by pairs when they're soft. The scarf you draped on my shoulders like a whisper of weather. Close your eyes, the room becomes a river. We have stones within it, polished by listening, arranged by patience, shining anyway. Before the leaves fell, we named a color no one else could see. It still lives in the margins of morning, unafraid to be quiet. When the day feels heavy, I tilt the page toward the light, and the world exhales, lamp lit, window open, and everything remembers how to begin. lane red, remembers the handwriting of leaves. They fall in cursive, signing the morning with soft, deciduous vows. Postcards addressed to no one and to everyone at once. I read them with my feet heel to toe, as if each step would sound out a word I forgot how to pronounce. Your name skims the air like a paper boat, worrying the edge of weather, turning toward a harbor built from breath and patient windows. I pass the bakery where sugar fogs the glass with kind insistence. The bell rings the hour, but also something gentle, a ring we never needed, because arrival was a practice, not a place. Children kneel to map of the sky and chalk, bright vertebra. Small moon, the color of sidewalk milk for a breath. I belong to all of it. Someone laughs in tangerine, peels curling like commas on a plate. I pocket the citrus light for later weather, a sun I can carry in my sleeve. Some streets are gentle librarians, they catalog all whispers under a window shaped like afternoon. I borrow them again, overdue but forgiven, then tuck them into the careful margin between heartbeat and hush, where even ache learns to soften. Letters in the wind say what I couldn't, fold the ache into birds and let them fly. If my hands forget the grammar of holding, teach them the syntax of sky. Nostalgia soft as wool, clear as rain. Write me back with light and leave the envelope open. I pause where a jinko stands like a chandelier of yellow thought. It sifts the hours with slow, deliberate hands. A bus exhales, a scarf rehearses its gentle argument with a collar. Your laughter arrives again. This time is cinnamon from the doorway. This time there's a window plant applauding nothing in particular. I inventory that day, a blue ticket stub, a receipt for mercy, a corner turned towards something kinder than news. If memory is a shoreline, I trace it without forcing the tide. Wave by wave the mind remembers it is also moon-pulled water on the wet pavement. A single leaf declares a small treaty, gold on grey, a seal between seasons. I sign with my silence. Letters in the wind, read me gently round every edge, make every corner kind. At the window I'll answer with a candle of patience and close the note with a smile of quiet blue. If you find this, leave it where light can see. Cobblestones, remember the grammar of our steps, left, right, pause. And commerce place for kindness, so the sentence of us could breathe. The river kept time with a low silver drum and dove, braided our shadows into a single ribbon across the key. If a city can listen, this one did, tilting its roofs like patient elders, got us humming a lullaby in a key older than the weather. Counted bridges not by number, but by color. Rust, bone, honey, slave, each an instrument, tuning the day toward gentler thinking. Your voice was a lantern I could carry without burning. We praised ornament, ready lips, words that hold keys that work the first try. A chair that never forgets our high. We let quiet have its turn at speaking, and it did so well. We promised to invite it more often. There was nothing to solve, only to see the heron riding slow ink across the sky. The dog that chose a different stick and was glad for it. The re-rehearsing our small anthem where water learns our names. The road we walk still walks inside me. Even alone my pulse keeps you measured. If I look down, the stones arrange themselves into the shape of your quiet yes. Melancholy is soft rain over warm hands. A room where even sadness is kind enough to sit. A tram side by like a paragraph moving to a softer point. We waved to strangers without needing a reason, because belonging was the weather and we were indoors. But I remember the smell of orange peel caught in a glove. How you tucked my sleeve into itself as if fabric were feeling. Oh, when the sky turned violet, live a breath on into itself. But we were with the strangers without needing a reason, because belonging was the weather and we were indoors. I remember the smell of orange peel caught in a glove. How you tucked my sleeve into itself as if fabric were feeling. Tram side by like a paragraph moving to a softer point. We waved to strangers without needing a reason, because belonging was the weather and we were indoors. I remember the smell of orange peel caught in a glove. How you tucked my sleeve into itself as if fabric were feeling. We said not by hurrying, by arriving slowly. On the far bank, a street musician tuned a note until it matched. Whatever the evening meant, we didn't clap, we breathed. Footsteps behind us braided into ours for a moment, then unbraided. The way kindness works, briefly shared, permanently changed. The road we walk keeps opening like a well-folded map. I touch the crease and the day unfolds. If I forget, the street remembers and sets the chairs back under the table where we left them. A promise made of furniture and light. Steam goes the glass and writes a language only patience can. The chair across from me keeps your outline. Not a wound, a window the shape of your laughter. Outside umbrellas bloom like small planets in a gentle orbit. And the bell above the door rings in the minor key of November. Porcelain clicks measure a tempo slower than news. A spoon draws a bright eclipse through a small galaxy of green. Solitude pours me coffee and says, take your time. I count the quiets between each clink. They arrive like tides, polishing the shore inside my ribs. A barista hums a melody made of broken afternoons, and a couple shares a pastry like a small ceremony of mercy. I send them a wish, folded into warmth, the way a scarf gathers a throat without binding. Your smile returns in the spoon's silver curve. I stir until the horizon sweetens to a color I can keep. Even alone, the table is generous, spreading a cloth of light over everything it holds. Loneliness softens into space. Absence becomes a gentler kind of presence, like breath you don't notice until you laugh and are suddenly grateful for air. At the empty cafe window I am held, not missing the street is a river of soft conversations. I learned to love the room the way light does, by finding what's already there and being glad for it. Let this be enough. A cup, small sun, a window seat, a chair that knows when to forget kindly. Rain etches delicate staff lines on the glass, and the city composes itself without conductor or rush. I draft a letter to the evening and sign it with steam. A sparrow lands on the sill and studies me back. We agree to speak in breaths. For a moment the world is a chord that includes everything, and the note we left unresolved relaxes into yes. When I stand, the chair gives me back to the hour. Without a tug, without a bruise, only grace. I wrap the scarf of this quiet around my throat and step into the minor key of weather, already humming along. Ooh, ooh, ooh. bay window, I am not alone. I am accompanied by spoons, by rain, by generous glass. Some rooms are teachers, this one grades with warmth and leaves the margin wide for me to try again.
We stood where the street forgets its name and becomes only footsteps. Your coat held the last sunlight on quiet hymn. Someone hummed before learning the words. There are parties that shout, ours listen. Even the wind bent its ear, and the hour took off its shoes. We didn't promise forever, we offered usefulness, a compass of patience, a lantern of listening, maps annotated with the places to rest. You said take care the way your mother says it through the rain. Not to be obeyed, only understood. Buses drew slow parentheses around our silence, leaves applauded without knowing why. We traded maps, you keep the river, I'll keep the hill. Where they meet is where we met and still do, whenever the city forgets to be loud, remembers to be kind. I wanted to give you something that would not bruise under time, so I gave you my attention, wrapped in ordinary cloth, stitched with the promise to practice mercy on myself first, so I'd have a real thing to share. Echoes of goodbye do not vanish, they learn the braided art of distance. They travel the long corridor between nights and return as softer weather. If I hear you in the hinge of a door, that is only the world remembering how to be gentle when things open. After you turn the corner, the street kept your outline, like chalk after a game, joyful and briefly sad. In a window a child tried on a hat that didn't fit yet. I wish for them a future that doesn't hurry their head. A violin tested one note in a room I couldn't see, until it matched the color of evening. Then it stayed. There is no remedy for love but more love, not backward, not clinging, but outward, wider, so no one walks this season without a scarf of light. I rehearse by warming my own hands first, teaching them not to hoard the cup once they're warm. Echoes of goodbye hum me toward mercy. Let our parting be a seed. The winter cannot starve. When spring arrives, it will not erase us. Only write our names in greener ink on canvas. margin where beginnings like together. Evening irons the day with a warm, unhurried hand. Wrinkles smooth into patient lines across the hours. I walk the corridor of dusk, reading portraits. We're almost hurried past them. The doorway grinning with friends. The rescue of silence. When the room inhaled together and forgot to be afraid. If I was cruel, it was only to my own right. If I was kind, it began by sitting down. Reflection is not judgment, it is washing river over stone until the face unblurs. The sky is soft, the razor sharpness leaves the edges round enough to hold. Some memories are keys on my doors. Tonight the door remembers how to be a window. In the window a late patience drinks. I set the table for one and do not feel alone. The chair across from me keeps a seat for the moon. Under fading light I learned to carry less. I pocket only what glows without a plug. Names, glances, a road that forgives my back. Let the rest be moths that find another land. I will follow the grammar of evening to where the room opens in the chest and stays open. A neighbor knocks with a warm breath and forgets why we laugh and remember, because warmth is the answer. I butter generosity with the serious joy of amateurs. Laundry breathes itself dry in the window like quiet flags. Shirts giving up their storm. Socks plotting forgiveness. I can love a world that dries like this. I rehearse the simplest prayer. Thank you, more please. Not greed, courage to invite what is already arriving. If night teaches, it grades with stars and leaves. Generous margins for revisions I will surely need.
Under fading light I carry the day like music after music. A kindness that continues even when the band goes home. Street lights bloom, my footsteps hum. I arrive by listening.
And the door understands.
I used to think arrival was an address, a code whispered to a lock that finally listened. Now I know it is a softness carried, a room I can unfold anywhere. On a bench at a stoplight under a patient tree, acceptance wears no medals, it mends. I set down the suitcase of explanations. Breath takes its rightful side. The horizon steps closer politely, as if to say we've been here the whole time. The kettle approves with a small applause. I butter toast with the earnest joy of beginners. Even mistakes taste like practice. Through the window, laundry breathes on a line. Shirts surrendering their storm, socks making treaties. A table learns to be enough by being used. The floor forgives my weight every time I try to return the favor. Home in my heart, no narrower than sky, no heavier than a hand on a shoulder. If you ask where I'm going, I'll point to the chair beside me. There is room, bring your tired maps, we'll hang them like art for what they taught. And eat the kind of silence that leaves us full. I write a recipe for being here. Water when thirsty, rest before the body has to beg. Kindness first to the nearest face. I hum a tune low enough for the floor to understand, high enough for the ceiling to nod. Between them a house somewhere within it rests. Acceptance is not surrender, it is music without a fist. I open both hands and find they are instruments. I practice scales of mercy until my palms remember how to hold without hiding anything away. Home in my heart, set another plate. Whoever knocks, even if it's me from yesterday, let them in, sit them down past the light. If the world must turn, let it turn on this. A small table, an open window, a lamp that doesn't mind staying up.
Night tidies the street with a silver broom. Neon speaks more quietly, even urgency forgets itself. I stand by the window and let the hour arrange me. Shoulders lowered, jaw unhooked, breath a small lake. Knows the moon by heart. If I say I miss you, it is not a plea, only a candle of gratitude left on the sill, a way of
of keeping the path warm for whatever returns kindly. Autumn whisper, close the door without a sound. Fold the day into a soft warm and live alone. Address it to the morning and stamp it with light. We are not ending, we are resting between chapters. Somewhere a late train writes a silver sentence across the dark. Somewhere a nurse wipes a brow and becomes a constellation. I inventory the room by touch. Book lamp, window pulse, each an instrument tuned to a key I can finally sing. Silence practices its scales up and down my ribs until the note that hurt learns how to turn into air. The night exhales, folding dreams in patient hands until dawn finds us ready to be found again. Between now and then, keep watch, little light, not as a guard, as a friend. Good night, gentle heart. I carry this calm like a secret window when the first bird signs the margin of the sky. Open it, begin again.